What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at the review roundup for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. Don't worry though, guys, there will be zero spoilers in this review roundup, and there's not that many reviews just in general, so it's not like we're going to have a ton of different stuff to talk about. I'm even taking the precaution of not actually reading any of the snippets of their reviews in this. So rest assured, if you haven't played it yet or you're still going through Xenoblade Chronicles 3, you don't have to worry about this video. I just wanted to detail how awesome the DLC is and also my own experience, just first impressions, because I noticed that I haven't said anything about the game afterwards. At least I haven't said anything in a video. On my live streams, I have said plenty about how good the game is, but I wanted to talk about some of the incredible things that they've improved on top of some of these reviews as well. So there's only 4 reviews. We have Gaming Trend, Destructoid, Nintendo World Report, and NintendoLife. So the lowest score so far is from Destructoid. They gave an 8.5 out of 10, and they stated that some of the characters are a little bit underdeveloped. There is some lingering issues with the gameplay, some of the resolution blurring, stuff like that. But overall, it's an incredible package, great DLC, and very well worth your time. Next up was Nintendo World Report. They gave it a 9 out of 10, and they also had very similar stuff to Destructoid, with a little bit of a caveat towards the ending of the game and some things as well, but overall felt that it was an incredible experience that improves upon many different things from the base game of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, while some of them did lament the fact that you can't change classes, so it makes things maybe a little bit more stale for them, whereas in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, every character can change classes, which in Gaming Trend, they gave it a 9.5. They also feel that that is actually a strength or a good thing, the fact that you can kind of hone in and unlock from there. Now, the best score comes from NintendoLife, a perfect 10 out of 10, and they essentially said this game is impeccable. It's really good, almost better than the base game, and the game just does so many great things to let you use characters from the past games and putting everything all together, and they absolutely loved the new mechanics added in. So very good score so far. Lowest score 8.5. That's an average here between 9.5, 8.5, 9, and 10. That is a 92 average at this point, almost 93. So really good scores for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed, and that's actually above the Metacritic for the base game at a 89%, although the base game has like 100 reviews or something like that, so it's not really comparable here. We're probably not going to get anywhere near as many reviews just because it is DLC. People are just moving on. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is coming out, whatever the case is. And also the fact that they probably don't have the people that played the original game that are even going to be willing to do this. So I think that's the reason why that many places probably aren't going to review it. Very similar to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torn of the Golden Country. There wasn't a lot of reviews on that. But the good news is that this review roundup so far, this DLC is charting well above what Torna did. I think Torna was an 80 average or so with not that many reviews, so this is clearly going to be above what Torna did, and I have to 100% agree. This game, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed, in my opinion, is many ways better than the base Xenoblade Chronicles 3 game, with the only exception here being in terms of the length and character class switching, if you like that. The length and the story of Xenoblade, it's a staple, it's a classic. People like that with Xenoblade games. This one obviously is a lot shorter, so you get more games, so it's really going to vary based on how you feel and how you like to play your games. But I will say this, if you go for pound when it comes to the gameplay mechanics and what they've done, they've clearly built off of the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 in such a better way. So many times when you see DLC, yeah, you get new weapons, yeah, you have a new story, but it's essentially the same game. This game tweaks so many different things with it, it almost feels different in some type of way. And it's still Xenoblade. You're still going to really play it and understand it and enjoy it if you've played Xenoblade 3. But the additions here are absolutely incredible. For me personally, I actually like the fact that you can't switch classes with this. Everybody has their set class, and then from there, you could upgrade your characters. You don't have to worry about changing classes or getting some type of random amount of unseen experience in order to level up or go and try to level it up a different type of way. Everybody has their set classes, and it really feeds into the more you do in the game, the stronger you'll be. So if you want to go get 100%, collect all the items, put it on your Collectopedia, get all the monsters, everything is organized and set together, and that's what sets apart this game from the base game and why it's so much more enjoyable to go through from a quality of life perspective. You have a Monsterpedia in this game, you have a Locationpedia, you have an Itempedia. Everything is charted, categorized, and put together, and when you collect something, you can register it and you get affinity points. Those affinity points can be then taken and put into your character to level them up, gain new skills, gain new abilities, enhance skills, and that to me is just a better way of doing it. It makes it more fun to collect everything. It makes it organized, so you're like, okay, I still need to get this. This is what it looks like. This is the shape. I can go in this area. Everything is just done better when it comes to the whole structure of the game. In a vacuum, obviously it's not as large and the story's not as big, but what they have here is just incredible. Being able to play as Shulk and Rex and having this grand finale, this grand kind of story where you see Alvis and you're not really sure, and then you're into this land and it's a prequel here. I think that's just an incredible thing to do, and it sets up really well. Visiting certain places from Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in there is just fun. It's just outright fun, and if you've played the games, the nostalgic vibes that you get when you go through there, it's like nothing that I've experienced before in an RPG. It was super, super cool to do that. So for me, this DLC really takes the cake when it comes to it. Now, the combat is very fun. I mean, I think that they've even made it faster and better in this way, like the way that you can actually get your gems more quickly, the way that you can get certain items to be able to hit faster, especially with the martial artist class with Matthew. I mean, you can just be drilling people at times with speed. The fusion combos are really good, and I think that how they handled Uroboros in the base game, you turn into a big, huge, clunky type of mech. That's a bit slower, really cool, but slower. But in this game, your Uroboros powers are on the left-hand side, so from there, like a stand almost pops up, like JoJo or something like that, or like Blue Dragon, a stand pops up and kind of hits them with it, and then it goes back down. I love that about the game. It's really cool. It's a really good way of tying it back to the Uroboros and how this is a prequel. It wasn't perfected and everything, so it's really cool to see stuff like that in this game. And to me, with the combat, that's what makes this game so good. The upgrading with the combat, you combine that with all the other quality of life additions that were already in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. This makes for just an incredible experience. But I do want to talk about switching different characters, because that was one of the key things in this game with Xenoblade Chronicles 3, was being able to switch at any time, which many RPGs still to this day don't do. On the fly, you can switch, and when you are able to switch, you're going to want to switch to Rex, because this guy is quite possibly one of the most busted characters in Xenoblade Chronicles history. His double spinning edge, double spinning edge, double spinning edge your way to victory. Critical hits are fantastic, so it feels fun and powerful to play as the characters in the game. That's why I love that they didn't make it to where you can switch a bunch of classes and do a bunch of different things. You want a focused, tight experience built around the strengths of the character and their base classes, and this delivers in that. I love what they did with Shulk too. At first I was a little bit like, I'm not so sure about Shulk. You know, he's kind of slower, but after you use him, it's pretty much like Dunban back in the day. So it's cool to use Shulk, it's cool to use Rex, and it's really cool to see the other characters in the game with Glimmer and Nicole as well. They're all very fun to use for the most part, although some of them are more fun than others. For me, Rex is by far the most fun to use, along with Matthew and then also A. I think those are the characters that I like to use the most. They're very fun, very fast. You can kind of modify their settings and you move quickly on this. If there was one thing, I do kind of see that I'm getting towards the end. I haven't quite beat it yet. I'm 20 hours and I'm pretty much trying to 100% it on my first go through, which I probably don't think I can, just because there'll probably be some things that will open up later. But I'm trying to get as much stuff as possible here with the first run of the game, and I'll probably replay it because it's honestly that good. It feels good to play, it's smooth, it's got some cool side quests to do as well, the structure is better, everything is just tuned up from Xenoblade Chronicles 3 that makes for a super smooth playing experience. So once I beat it, I'll probably talk about it again, maybe in like a spoiler review next week or the week after or something like that, maybe before The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom comes out. But if you haven't picked up Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed at this point, pick it up. If you've beat Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and you still haven't got it yet, what are you waiting for? Go out there, pick it up, play. You can probably beat it before Tears of the Kingdom comes out. So I highly recommend the game. It is absolutely incredible. All right, guys, what do you think about Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed scores and my first impressions that I'm giving to you guys? Let me know in the comment section, and make sure you check out any of my content that I've already done on Future Redeemed, in addition to other RPGs and big games coming out on the Nintendo Switch. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you for the next video. Peace.